What's up, everyone? It's the one and only Kenny Talk is in the building, and this is the debut of the Truth, Lies, and Lesson podcast. Thank everybody for joining. Let me give everybody some time to kind of adjust the cameras, get everything cracking. But we about to go in, man. We about to go in, right? Like the only way we know how. Okay, the only way we know how. It's been years since I first started putting in work, doing radio, doing internet radio. I start from Twitter first, and then internet radio, and then got into on the air radio. Then got into YouTube for the first time. Then got a chance to do my own show live on the air in the city or what have you. And then leading me all the way up to today, tackling the podcast game, right? Getting the message, getting the word out to everyone that this is how I go down. Can y'all hear me out there? I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Mic check, mic check. Let's make it happen, right? I'm gonna get everybody a little time to come on in and get situated because we're about to have a talk. We're about to have a talk that led all the way up to where I am today when it comes to the truth, the lies, and the lessons. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all a moment or so, and we're about to start the show. Remember, you can go to iHeartRadio, you can go to Pandora, you can go to Apple. You can go to so many different platforms to hear the truth, the lies, and the lessons because we're about to take over. So I'm gonna give y'all some time. Give me some time. The show's about to start in a second. Let's make it happen. We're about to get started. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me out there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there in radio land? We're streaming live. We are streaming live right now. We're about to get started. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me out there. Yeah. I want to test it out. Let's go. Let's make it happen, everybody. So, tonight's topic of discussion on the truth, the lies, and the lessons is well, before I bring in a lot of y'all been following me on social media for a long time. You had a chance to check out the topic, but before I get into that, I want to talk about how I get all the way up into this particular point, man. I just want to have a conversation with you guys. You know, this platform is gonna be set to create dialogue from all different perspectives of relationship talk, right? So people might ask, man, why you call it the truth, lies, and the lessons, man? Truth, lies, and the lessons is old school. And the reason why I wanted to kind of chop it up with everybody from a truth, lies, and the lessons perspective is like I know, the game is flooded, man. The game is flooded with so many different um platforms. I mean, relationship counselors, um, so many people, self-proclaimed or not, that's out doing their thing, speaking on relationships, racking up the followers. Everybody's listening, everybody's talking, and in my years of bringing it the way I bring it, I see that there's still a space, a large space in what we do in this field called relationship talk. It's a large space for really having people, really giving people a lesson. You know what I'm saying? You hear this topic being thrown around, you hear that topic being thrown around, you hear this person's perspective, you hear someone to rebut that perspective, you hear an argument, you also hear the right complex, and it's a lot of chaos, or it can become chaotic. And you, as the listener, are stuck right there in the middle, absorbing it all, you know, doing your best to absorb it all. Who do I listen to? Why should I listen to this person? Right? Or everybody's listening to this person, so I might as well listen to them. So we at a point right now, ladies and gentlemen, where the buck has to stop to where we at least provide you with a lesson. We provide you with a way to take advantage of this relationship talk, you know, to really get us to the point where we walk away with something real. And that's what the truth, the lies, and the lessons is all about. My name is Kenny Talk. I'm a published author of the book, The Truth That Tears Us Apart, The Lies That Keep Us Together, man. And I want everybody to understand that I'm bringing these lessons to you. Yeah, let me get my IG together. Okay, I'm at a space where I'm trying to really bring everybody together when it comes to this relationship talk and give you a lesson to walk away with. And that's just what it is. I'm a published author, and I've been doing this for a while. Started off on internet radio and Twitter. Went to being live on the air, to having my own show, to being able to run all of the bells and the whistles myself on radio, right? And then I realized that radio, in this case, wasn't really a great space for me to catapult from. It's definitely a place for me to learn the game of radio. You know what I'm saying? I understand it, and I'm at a point to where the message that I've been giving the radio for so long, a solid message, a supported message, right? But it was from a limited platform. I'll be the first to say it. I'll be honest. It was from a limited platform, ladies and gentlemen. And that platform was designed to give you snippets and snapshots of information, from the time you spend in your car. That's what radio is all about, right? And a lot of times my message, as you can hear right now, sometimes it gets a little bit more robust than that. You literally will have to sit in your car for 30 minutes to an hour. You got to be on a road trip or something, you know what I'm saying, coming through Birmingham or whatever to hear it. But I said to myself, and after partnering with a lot of great people and support, it's high time that I take this message to a podcast, to where I can have those conversations and invite great minds to come on to discuss things from their perspective or what have you. But the key thing is to have you walk away with the lesson. And that's going to be a little bit of the introduction. That's where I come from at this point. We're about to get it started right about now, right? It's about time for me to introduce each of you guys to the truth, the lies, and the lessons. And before we do let the cat out of the bag, before we do bring in the topic of discussion, let's have a moment of silence. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a moment of silence to set things off. Let's go. Okay. All right. It's about time to get everything started. Thank everybody for joining the show. And let's talk about it real quick. Let me let the cat out of the bag. Red flags in dating. We're going to discuss red flags in datings. And I want y'all to walk with me through this conversation. You know, red flags, warning signs. Proceed with caution, turn around and run, right? This seems to be the topic of discussion around the relationship talk world, and it's seeping into the music, into our dating lives, right? So much to say that we got our head on a swivel when we're out there dating, right? Everyone is looking for the cautious red flags, identifying them and calling them out before or after getting involved with someone, right? We're all at the point to where we're on the lookout for these red flags. And I said it in one of my social media posts. If you're really good at spotting them, it's a high chance that you got them. That's how it works. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get to that in a moment. I want y'all to walk with me real quick, right? So many people believe that identifying red flags help them dodge bullets, right? So many people are coming from a space of relationships not working out or things that they're viewing in hindsight that make them feel like they shouldn't have gave that person a chance. They looking backwards and saying, if I would have only heeded when I saw this, right? Red flags, caution signs, right? Warning signs. And I say to myself, red flags, red flags, a lot of times are not what you think they are. A lot of the red flags that we identify are the most common ones, ladies and gentlemen. We identify the most common ones and we believe that guess what? It is what it is. It's a red flag. Who cares? It's a red flag if it's a red flag. So forget it. If that person says a red flag, or if this person say, hey, yo, man, I was in a relationship with a person and this happened. Oh, the same thing happened to me. See, that's a red flag. And that's kind of where we get. That's the point we get. So I want to ask y'all a question before we get started. What? My first question. What has made us so paranoid, so scared, or so alert? What happened? Within the last couple of years, what has happened? Why are we on alert for red flags? Answer me. No, I'm just playing. I want y'all to think about that. What has happened that made this all of a sudden the topic of discussion? Who caused this to trend? Red flags. Is it because of you being previously hurt, previously embarrassed, or a fear of them both? We're going to dissect this topic, you know what I'm saying, to show how many of us are on alert to everything but the right things, right? Now, this show is going to be broken down in 3 different perspectives: truth, lies, and we're going to walk away with a lesson. The first thing I want to discuss is a breakdown is when we say truth, I got to give you the definition of truth. I want everybody to feel this, right? The definition of truth, man. The definition of truth is that which is highly rejected, even though there's a slew of evidence and experience that can back it up as being factual, right? That's what truth is nowadays. All right. Lies. Lies is what's highly accepted, right? Because of traditionalism, because of the word of the day because of what's trending. It's because of what's popular. It's because of what's just out there. It's the narrative that everybody succumbs to, even though it yields little to no results. And last but not least is the lesson. So, what's the lesson, Kenny Talk? The lesson is that we in which we must learn, regardless of which one we pursue. And best believe this is a platform that's not going to tell you which one to pursue. We're going to give you, we're going to give you the option to choose that. We're going to give you the option to choose that. You know what I'm saying? So let's get everything started at this particular point. Let's get everything started. So we're going to start with the lies. And the reason why I want to start with the lies, ladies and gentlemen, is because it's what's highly accepted and everybody is big on it. And that's cool. That's cool. When you talk about the lies, I'm going to speak about that which we have accepted as red flags. A lot of stuff that we have accepted as red flags, y'all. So let's jump right in real quick. So we'll start with, here we go. We're going to start with the lies, man. And red flags are looked at as things that can only be seen in hindsight. They can only be seen in hindsight, ladies and gentlemen. Meaning that while you're going through it, you rarely ever see it. You rarely ever get to the point to where you can see it, make the decision that's needed, step out of it, run, do whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like you need to do. Do whatever you feel like you need to do. Okay, let me try to get my IG together here. Looks like it's moving a little, it's moving a little slow on IG, but that's all right. We're gonna get IG together. But guess what? It don't even matter because the truth, the lies, and the lessons, y'all can listen to it on iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube, Twitter. Go to my Twitter handle, Kenny Talk _. Go to YouTube, search hashtag Kenny Talk Radio, and I guarantee you, when we're done, you'll be able to have your playback on here, right? You know what I'm saying? So the first thing is that it can only be seen in hindsight. I know y'all was gonna think I was gonna go a different route, but let's break it down. It can only be seen in hindsight, and that's not true. But in actuality, we accept it as that. We accept it as true, right? Okay. Things you identify that are clues, signs, or behavior to help you dodge the bullet of misrepresentation. That's a big thing floating around, the big narrative that's floating around at this point. Of that's the definition of red flags at this particular point. You know what I'm saying? Things you identify that are clues, signs, or behaviors to help you dodge the bullet of misrepresentation, right? This is a narrative that has been put out there to keep your head on the swivel. So when it's time to date, you're going to be so focused on picking up on cues, clues, and behaviors, things of that nature, that you're going to miss the entire good time. You're going to miss what's really there. You know what I'm saying? We all know when you're dating, we all have this representative that we bring to the table first. Now, this representative is just like you. They're on cue. You know what I'm saying? They're marching to a certain beat. They're making sure they don't make mistakes. They're on point. And at this point, they're not in their comfort zone. So a lot of the red flags that you're gonna identify, they're gonna be there while the person is attentive to trying not to make a mistake. They're attentive to for trying not to make a mistake. They ain't chilling. They ain't relaxed. They're not in their comfort zone. So a lot of what you seeing may not even be a red flag. May not be a red flag. It could be mistakes. It could be nervousness. It could be them bringing forth what they think you want to see or want to hear. It could be them acting. It could be them outside of their comfort zone, stumbling around, making mistakes. And you say to yourself, oh, there go one, oh, there go two, oh, he said this, three. And all of a sudden, now you're at a point to where a possibility, a dating possibility or relationship possibility gets curved because of those mistakes. So I want y'all to think about that real quick. Red flags. Red flags. Not what you think out, not what the average person would say when it comes to identifying red flags. But at the end of the day, this is where we're going to start at. Because I don't want anyone to believe that which you have been hearing. I don't want anyone to believe that which you have been subscribing to, that have been getting you the same results that you've been getting day in and day out, or relationship after relationship, date after date, or podcast after podcast, listening to this relationship expert after that relationship expert. The buck stops here. So listen to the truth, the lies, and the lessons. Listen to the truth, the lies, and the lessons. So I want to thank y'all for listening to the lies, because guess what? We've been doing it all this time. So guess what? It's time for the truth. Now, the truth is going to be a part where we discuss red flags that you never thought were red flags. Red flags where you thought or you never thought was red flags. Y'all ready for this? I want y'all to walk with me real quick. So check it out. The number one red flag that many people fail to identify, and this is not an act. This is not an act. I wish it was. I wish it was just your representative. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, we got to make sure we don't start looking the first couple of dates. You got to start paying attention after the fourth or the fifth one, when we're starting to get into our comfort zone. That's when you're going to really identify the red flags. So that's the first truth. The second truth is a red flag is actually someone that is not receptive to feedback. Not receptive to feedback. How can you tell that, Kenny Talk? Well, I'll break it down like breadcrumbs, Birmingham. Let's get down to the root of the tree. Now, we got so many individuals that go from relationship to relationship, right? And when it comes to being able to identify if they listen to feedback, listen to them when they speak about their ex. If when they speak about the people that they've dated, they've never received any type of constructive criticism to make any adjustments, just ask. If they don't speak on it, just ask them. Or what are some things that your ex advised you of that you probably could have did different? That's going to be a question that's going to make them really going to stump them for a minute, because they're going to have to think about it. Now, that's from a woman's perspective. From a guy's perspective, you already know. Women do not hesitate to give us feedback. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can tell if a guy is not receptive to the feedback, because did he make the adjustment? You know, how did he feel about the adjustment? And that which she asked him to adjust, is he still doing it? Flag on the plate, red flag. Second is going to be when you have high expectations. When you have high expectations and raised standards. High expectations and raised standards. So what do you say to that? Why is that a red flag? Why do y'all think that's a red flag? Talk to me. Well, I'll tell you. When you profess that you have raised your standards, you've raised them from what exactly? Why Do you have high expectations instead of expectations? I'm saying, think about it. I'll wait. Why do you raise your standards? And from where did you raise them from? Think about it. Where did you raise them from? When you have high expectations or you decided to raise your standards, it means that you now want something from a new person that you've never gotten or sometimes haven't even asked for from the last person. You're now going to expect that which you couldn't get the last person to give you. And you want to do that right at the door to help you decide if you're going to give this person the opportunity to get to know you, right? You've had ample opportunity to get this from the last people that you dated, but you couldn't get right. You couldn't get it. So this is a red flag when your standards are now raised. You have all of the answers as to what it takes, what to do or what to expect. Every time you seem to focus on one person, they show you that being in a relationship with you, it ain't for them. It's too consistent, right? People want to meet your expectations until you decide, hey, let's make it official. Flag on the play, red flag. Paranoia of the possibility of being hurt or misled that are carried over from a previous encounter with previous people you have entertained. I'm going to say that again. Red flags. A paranoia of being paranoid of the possibility of being hurt or misled that is carried over from previous encounters with previous people you have entertained. Baggage. Red flag. I want y'all to walk with me, okay? Now I got two more I'm going to give you before we wrap this thing on up and jump to the lesson. You can tell, well, this is a red flag when they use curse words or words to curse. Now I know y'all probably gonna tell me on this one, wait a minute, Ken, we grown. Over 99% of adults use curse words when they speak. And I'm with you, I do too, right? But these are different types of curse words. I don't mean that which we're used to hearing. You know what I'm saying? To where we would consider someone a potty mouth or certain things that we would have to bleep out when I say explicit. But curse words are words that are used to attack. Listen to the person speak about people that they've encountered, people that they know, people that they know, people that they've dealt with, people at the job, people they used to be in love with, people that cheated on them, the people that they've encountered. If they spew words, attacking words, if they like to utilize words to attack or to cut down, that's a red flag. I know you've heard them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the prettiest girls could have the most disrespectful mouths. Sometimes the most handsome guys could have the most disrespectful mouths, right? It's a red flag when you utilize words to curse or curse words, to cut somebody down, to whisper as the serpent did in the garden. If you want to get spiritual, biblical. Hey, this person here said they ain't about nothing. They ain't. Whenever that whisper is there, it's a red flag. Now let me wrap this thing up like a mummy and tell you the last one that really stands out that's a red flag. When the person that you're dealing with place an overemphasis on trust. Trust. They speak a lot about you trusting them or you can trust them. They speak a lot about they got to be able to trust you or trust is big with me. What are you going to do to show me that I can trust you? Trust. Now, why is that? Because this trust, this position of trust is a real vulnerable position. And they want to get you there so they can keep you there. Or they want you always working to be in that space with them. Trust me. Or I need to know that I can trust you. The reason why they want to know that they can trust you is because it takes away the effort that they have to put in order to gain that trust. It takes away the actions or the behaviors that they need to bring to the table to create an environment where you would trust them. They just demand it. They just expect it. Regardless, I don't know you from the man on the moon or the lady from Mars. I don't know you. Why should I trust you? Because you said so? Because you told me that's what you expect? Trust me. If you say real talk, I probably won't trust you. I can't trust you because you demand trust instead of earn trust. That says a lot about what I'm going to be dealing with if I deal with you. Flag on the play. Red flag. Words. Let me go back to words. Man, listen. Them words are powerful. How many times you heard somebody say they want someone or God's going to send them someone? This person, the next person that God send me, they tell you that. See, it's a trick to insinuate that being that you're in your life, in their life, that God sent you there. So you have an obligation. She's already called it or he's already called it. Never mind the fact that you're only in their life because you thought they was hot and you wanted to hit them. You only wanted to have sex. That's why you're here. But the goal is to continue to profess that. To make you believe or start to believe that maybe God did send me in this person's life. So I need to treat them right. Or we feel guilty about not living up to their expectations and wanting to walk away. Or we feel guilty about cutting them loose and saying, you know what, I ain't going to deal with her no more. I'm not going to deal with him no more. Because it was how they basically professed it to make you feel like, guess what? Maybe God sent me into this person's life. Yeah. Thank everybody for listening tonight. It's the truth, the lies, and the lessons. And you just had an opportunity To hear the truth, that which is less likely accepted or more likely rejected. Yet and still, there's a lot of experience and some facts to back it up, regardless. The lies is a narrative that gets repeated over and over and over again until it's just accepted as a household name. Accepted as the truth, yet yields little results for you. And I want to share it with you today. So, before we get into the lesson, I got a little something special that I'm going to be dedicated to doing every single show, man. I want y'all to get ready for this. What do you call it, Ken? I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of poetic justice. So why do you call it poetic justice? You'll see why. Because it's a little bit of spoken word that I put together that I want to share with you. You know, coming soon up on the next shows, we're gonna be having some interesting guests to come on to speak from their perspectives. We're gonna have some individuals to come on to talk through their expertise, right? It's going to be all tied to subject matter around relationships that's going to, at the end of the day, help you walk away with a lesson. And I need y'all to feel me. The truth, the lies, and the lessons. The lessons go as follow. You can dim the lights a little bit if you're listening to it from the crib. Snap your fingers if you like. A little bit of poetic justice dedicated to all of the listeners out there on this Tuesday night. Check. Everybody calls them red flags because a flag that is red should make it easy for everybody to spot it. It's like everybody believes that everybody is out to hurt, mislead, and take advantage of every damn body. Everybody is in a space. If they meet a nice person, they must dig, investigate, and research for the flags. But this keeps everybody focused on everybody else's flaws, turning a blind eye to the ones you carrying around in your bag. Everybody wants the right questions to ask to help them uncover the facts, to see through the mask that everybody's hiding behind. But if everybody just relax, pressuring ourselves to find the perfect match, and spend a little more time with each other, we'll see the signs. The key is time, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody believes that we just don't have time. I hear some of the biggest relationship gurus or people out there speaking saying that if a guy hadn't proposed to you in 6 months, he's wasting your time. If a guy hadn't basically committed to you within the first 2 dates, then he wasting his time. If a guy haven't even brought up proposal and y'all been talking for a year, man, what is you doing? You might as well drop this guy, right? Fellas, if you still haven't decided that you're gonna marry that young lady after 6 months, you need to walk away. You need to let her go so she can find the man that God sent her. There go that term again. Right? This is what we've been hearing. But when you break down the time length that everybody talk about, the 90 days, the 6 months, the year, for the most part, you know what I'm saying, with social media blowing up, and I need y'all to understand this. If you spend 3 months around an individual, 3 months that you've known someone, we think that we've actually known them for 3 months. That's what we think. But in actuality, let me turn that down. In actuality, if you add up the actual time that you've known the person, you got to look at the time that was spent around this person. The time that was spent around this person. How much time did you actually spend around this person in 90 days? How much time? It hadn't been 90 days, ladies and gentlemen. You spent a couple hours on dates. You spend a couple hours on Netflix and chill. You talk on the phone a little bit because you mainly text. And you can't count texts as spending time and getting to know someone. You can't count that. So in a 90-day period, we spend an average of less than a week around each other. So this person that you spent less than a week around getting to know, they're expecting you to get into a committed relationship with them. Time. 6 months. You lucky if you spent 2 months in their presence. Because life is moving. You're lucky if you spent 2 months out of a 6-month period in their presence. You are lucky. So in actuality, we don't spend enough time getting to know each other. Because getting to know each other, ladies and gentlemen, is all about being around that person. It's all about being around that person. So now, as we slide on into the lesson, because I'm about to get y'all up out of here at this particular point, let's slide into the lesson. I want everybody to feel the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to everybody that was just listening, showing love, big time love. Remember, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Twitter, you can go on iHeartRadio, Apple Music, you can go on Pandora. Where else can they go, Chief? Man, they can go a lot of places, man. The truth, the lies, and the lessons is here. So, now it's been said that when you ignore the red flags, it's a clear sign, man, that you don't love yourself. Because you allow some of these things to take fold, even though you've actually identified them. You don't love yourself, right? Because you don't walk away or back out the relationship or dating situation after seeing these signs, right? That you're not going to be treated the way you deserve. Here's another widely accepted narrative. I'll just say that. And we categorize that as a lie over here. And here's why. You ignore these red flags and continue on the path to stay in the position with that person that you have with that person because you see some type of benefit. You see, I guess say sunshine at the end of the rainbow or pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Or you see what's happening right now and you're enjoying the ride more so than a red flag that will indicate something to come in the future. At this point, you putting yourself first. You love the hell out of yourself because you're making a decision for yourself to stay. You know what I'm saying? This means you putting yourself first. This is a clear sign that you love yourself, right? You keep them close because they fulfill the need or want at this point, and the red flag is what you choose not to pay attention to at this moment because you selfishly don't want the immediate fulfillment to be cut short. Now that's the truth. Sometimes it stings, ladies and gentlemen, but we're here to bring you the truth, the lies, and the lessons. I had fun tonight. I hope you had fun. Yeah. Oh, we podcasting from now on, man. That's what it's about to be. Because when you talk about radio ain't the space, man. It's about, guess what? It's about chopping down this narrative and providing a lesson. What are we going to learn from everything that we're hearing? What's our takeaway from everything that's being spewed on the internet, on social media? What's our real takeaway? What are you learning? Yeah. So big shout out to everybody for listening tonight, man. We about to rock up out of here. We're going to be back with another great topic, and they're going to keep coming, yo. They're going to keep coming. And the reason why they're going to keep coming, because I do this for the world, man. I do this for the world. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for the best. Oh, and by the way, before we do get up out of here, I want everybody to know how much I want everybody to know that to go subscribe to the social media channels, man. Instagram, we're gonna get that up and running straight. We're gonna get well, we already got YouTube, y'all. We already got Twitter. I'll send out the links to make sure everybody got them, man. But the truth, the lies, and the lessons is taking off, and let's make it happen. Salute. Boom.